pitch, a liner out to right, going back is Cave, looking up, gone!
The Brewers-Dodgers coverage starts tonight at 5 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Sunny in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jack Grau. Milwaukee police are investigating a shooting that occurred around 1:30 this morning, injuring 4. The shooting happened near the intersection of Dr. MLK Drive and 6th Street. The 4 victims were 15, 17, 18, and 21 years old, and all taken to a hospital for treatment. The 18-year-old victim left the scene of the shooting and went to the intersection of Northport Washington Road and Richter. The circumstances leading up to the shooting are under investigation. Milwaukee police continue to seek unknown suspects. President Joe Biden making a fiery statement at a rally in Madison.
I am running and going to win again.
The president's message resonating with attendees, according to TMJ4 chief political reporter Charles Benson.
I think people left here feeling like if they had some doubts about whether he was the guy or whether he would stay in the race, he made it very clear. He's in it.
Benson was in the room at Sherman Middle School. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News it was definitely a trend in the right direction for the embattled campaign.
This has been an anxious few days after the poor debate performance. If he was looking for a boost on the campaign trail, he got it.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The president also sitting down for an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos while in Madison. And CBS's Bradley Blackburn saying the president will have to play catch-up with former President Trump.
More donors and some Democratic lawmakers are urging him to drop out. Polls now show Trump leading nationally and in battleground states.
If the Lord Almighty came down and said, Joe, get out of the race, I'll get out of the race. The Lord Almighty's not coming down.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
President Biden will visit more battleground states this month, including an event in Pennsylvania Sunday.
In that interview, President Biden dismissed calls for him to take a neurological test and claimed his job performance is proof enough of his mental faculties. In a ruling celebrated by Wisconsin Democrats and criticized by the state GOP, the Wisconsin Supreme Court reversed itself once again, allowing the use of absentee ballot drop boxes. Milwaukee voter Erica Munjin tells TMJ4 News she's excited they're coming back.
I think it's going to make a huge difference because the thing is, it's all about access. People won't do something unless it's easy to do. So as long as we bring access, more voting is more possible.
Friday's decision does not require municipal clerks to use the drop boxes. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:04.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for J.D. Griffiths. It was time for us. Our house was 20-plus years old, and the garage doors were getting dated. They were dinged up, and they were really hurting the value and the look of our house. That's why we called J.D. Griffiths, a local company. They've been at it in Milwaukee for more than 70 years, providing premier garage doors and building detached garages. We've got our new doors now, and they pop. I still got neighbors talking to me about it. Now, J.D. Griffiths does have an exclusive offer right now for you, the WTMJ listener. With any purchase of a new garage door, you can save $100 on your garage door opener. Just call 414-362-7222 and mention me, WTMJ's Eric Bilstead, or fill out the form at jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ to schedule your free at-home estimate and claim your deal. That number again, 414-362-7222. J.D. Griffiths.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Tough start for the Brewers in Los Angeles, losing 8-5 to the Dodgers. Some energy from the Brewers. Rhys Hoskins hit a grand slam. You can hear the first pitch of Game 2 at 6:15 tonight on WTMJ, with Brewers warm-up starting right at 5. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. About what's normal for a Saturday morning. Nothing major across the Milwaukee traffic system. Wherever you're driving to, should be a smooth ride getting there.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Hitting a high of 77 today with partly cloudy conditions and a low of 63 tonight. On Sunday, a high of 81 with some isolated rain that morning. Monday to start the week, high of 79 with some scattered showers and storms. Same kind of conditions on Tuesday with a high of 82 and a slight chance of showers Wednesday with a high of 81. If you're in Madison, you're getting temperatures like 64 degrees with some fog. In Green Bay, it's 61 degrees. In sunny in Waukesha, 62 degrees, mostly sunny. Right here in Milwaukee, it's 63 degrees and sunny. I'm Jack Rao, Sighting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy. And we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton Kane and David Nason.
Good morning, David Nason. We're back together in the studio.
Yes, good morning, Dayton.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So last week you were sailing, right?
We were trying to sail. Trying to race.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
the Queen's Cup goes across the lake every year. In the 15, 16 or so times that I've done the race, that was probably the most miserable one.
It was raining and storming.
Yeah, if everybody remembers, last Friday it was kind of rainy on and off and everything. But then those storms that came through here, well, they came out on the lake too. And so a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, a lot of rain, a lot of wind shifting going all over the place. We were going in circles at times.
Well, I'm glad you're alive and here.
Yeah, well, we're being safe always.
Yeah.
But, so we got in Saturday morning, not as early as we did last year. We didn't do so well. But, it's all we tell people these are the ones that we talk about.
Right.
Because the ones where you just kind of sail across the lake and
everything's
nothing,
fine,
uneventful. You get there and like, oh, okay, yeah, right. But the ones where, remember that storm?
Remember
in
2024?
Yeah, we had all those storms. But it was good times and everything. So,
well, welcome back. 4th of July went well?
Yeah. So far.
Do you get time off during the week of 4th of July, or are you still working all the way through it all?
I took Thursday and Friday off.
You did take Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
So I get as much time as I want off, I guess.
Right.
I play, I kind of obviously plan my own schedule. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't get paid when I take off. Right. There's no such thing as paid vacation.
Same with me in sales. If I'm not working, I'm not getting money. Right?
Exactly. So how was your week?
It was awesome.
And you were,
real good.
You were
busy.
On the Bourbon Trail?
I was on the Bourbon Trail 2 weeks, and that was amazing. My wife said she never has to go to another distillery again, but we went to 10 of them, and it was awesome. I saw
some pictures. It looks cool. That's
a great
something
week.
I want to do.
Yeah, beautiful down there, and just a lot of history, and it was awesome. If you ever thought maybe I should go to Kentucky, not a thought I'd really ever had before this week, but it was great. Yeah. So good to be back, both of us here. Isaac's off this week. We have Charlie in the producer's booth, so we'll take calls and texts throughout the day. We have no guests this hour, so we're gonna teach you how to fix your internet so you don't see any fake news. We're going to teach you how to, we're going to fix the political system. We're going to fix the healthcare system. So you really want to pay attention this hour.
Right.
We're going to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
No. We'll take your calls and texts. 855-616-1620. Let's talk about anything. You need questions on anything around your house. We want to answer them for you today and do that. And I see you brought some tools in.
Yeah.
So we'll do our cool tool segment as well and go through a couple of those.
Some of them I used this week, talking about moisture intrusion.
Okay.
We've had a little bit of rain.
Just a little bit of rain. And when it rains, it downpours.
Yeah.
It's not like small rain.
No, not this year.
So that might be a reason to go to WTMJ.com and watch the show.
Sure.
Because you'll be able to see the tools that we're talking about if you do that. So go to WTMJ. There's a watch live button you can click on, and you can see us right there. But glad to have you along this morning, the first Saturday of July. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94, eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Yard work, playing with the kids, getting back out on the boat, things that should be enjoyable, not painful. Vince Vetrano for Connect Chiropractic, where I've been seeing Dr. Alex Young and his team for nearly a year. My neck, back, and shoulder feeling so much better. It's not just that. Did you know regular chiropractic care can help with sciatica, vertigo, great for athletes, and all without twisting, cracking, or popping? Connect Chiro docs use a special tool for all the adjustments so there's no discomfort. Learn more or book your first appointment now at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. For every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2, buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I told you to call. Get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Like a user's manual. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
July 6th.
I know who this is.
The last week of Summerfest. Who is it, David?
And it's not because Charlie told me. It's the Bodines.
It is the Bodines.
I remember seeing the Bodines, man, back in the 90s during college. saw them free all the time.
Yeah, they were everywhere
Yes,
back then.
right.
They are on the Generac Power Stage at Summerfest today. So last day to get out there if you haven't yet, so make sure you do that. Let's take some calls and texts. What do you think?
Awesome. Let's do it.
855-616-1620, the WTMJ talking text line. Let's go to Ken in Menominee Falls. Good morning, Ken. What's your question?
Good morning. Yes, I got a 35-year-old air conditioner, runs great still, but I've heard that our government is requiring a new refrigerant in 2025, and that is going to increase the cost of air conditioners significantly, yes or no? And what's your thoughts on our replacing before next year?
So you are right. They are going to be requiring a new refrigerant, but that's for units manufactured. So yes, if you're looking at replacing in 24, beginning of 20 this year, they required a minimum SEER level, and that talks about performance and energy efficiency. So they in the R410A refrigerant that we have now, so your unit probably has the R22 in it, which has been banned for years. Yeah. And in 2020, that was no longer available to be imported or manufactured in the United States. But you can still get it. It's just very expensive. So in 25, the new refrigerant, actually, I think Jason Fox has said there's going to be 2 or 3 options, which is really going to make the market kind of crazy because they're all a little bit different, but they're a lot more. And don't let this scare you, but they're going to be more like propane. So it's a flammable refrigerant, but it's supposed to be a lot more energy efficient. So it's not a safety issue, but it's just very different. So that's going to be in units that are being manufactured starting in 2025. So it's not like anybody who has an older AC unit. It's not like they're going to come knock on your door and say, "Hey, you have an older AC, you have to replace it." It's just when it comes time for you to replace it, then you'll have to use one of these newer ones. It's not a bad idea to go out and get one now. I did it in the end of 23, got a new AC unit. I had an old one kind of along the same lines, thinking, well, I knew in 24 the newer SEER level was going to raise the prices, so I got in before that. The reality is everything, whether it's AC units, furnaces, windows, siding, roofing, everything. The prices are...
It's never going to be cheaper than right now.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something changing, and materials costs, everything, labor costs. So you got to take that into account.
I've got quotes from 2022, and from what I heard, I mean, it's significant cost change from then till now.
Right, and like
I probably this fall.
Yeah, then the next year you're going to see it go up again.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks for your time.
Yeah,
thanks
good
for
question.
Listening. Have a great weekend. 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talking text line. This text says, "Good morning. Can I lay fiberglass bats directly laying on top of heat ducts and cold air returns in my basement ceiling? I want to make that area more soundproof."
So yes, and that would basically be the only thing that it's going to do is provide soundproofing between the lower level and your first floor.
Right.
Because those are both considered to be conditioned spaces versus like your attic is an unconditioned space. So basement, first floor, second floor, we typically don't insulate between those floors unless you want to do soundproofing.
Okay. Next question. Can I put a rubber membrane material over an older rubber membrane? Blah, blah, blah.
I think you can. That would be a good question.
Well, we typically will remove the older one just because you get a better, flatter finish on the membrane. Because you already have it down there, where are you securing it? How are you securing it?
Yeah.
That becomes the question.
So rubber membranes are installed in 2 ways, basically a fully adhered or a perimeter adhered. Right. If you're going over a rubber, you're probably going to go with the perimeter.
You'd have to.
Because you're not going to adhere to an old rubber roof.
Right.
So it's kind of like with asphalt shingles. Ideally, you would want to take that old rubber roof off, be able to inspect that decking, that substrate there.
Yeah.
Because especially with the rubber membrane, if you can walk on this area at all safely, if you feel any kind of sponginess, any kind of softness in there, that means that sheathing, that decking has gotten some water in there, and you'd want to have that replaced. So ideally, not only the decking, but you can get your flashings done correctly and everything. As much as you probably can do it, just like you can do shingles over a layer of shingles, it's just not recommended. It's the manufacturer's probably not going to want to give you the warranties that you're going to expect for a product like that.
Another thing, when you're doing a project, it's good to get down as low as you can to see what's happening underneath, because you just don't know what you're covering up if you just keep covering things. So we find that a lot when we pull siding off. Like, you could technically go over this old wood siding, and then you take it off and you just see like walls just disintegrating. And
it's not. People always say, "Well, is that allowed by code?" And code allows 2 layers of shingles and things. But what this comes down to is a best practice.
Right.
What is the best thing to do? And it really is, like you said, get down to the original wall sheathing, get down to the roof sheathing, and look at everything. It does cost a little bit more,
but in the long run,
you're going to get better warranties, and you're going to get a better performing product.
Exactly.
That not only is going to work for you, but you can pass on to the next homeowner if you're selling in the near future.
Great questions. WTMJ Talking Text Line 855-616-1620. We're talking cool tools when we come back. David Nason has a bag of stuff over there. We'll see what it is. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercier here, joined by Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and today we're talking about the sports book at Potawatomi. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What a great spot to catch a game, a match, a race, you name it, and you guys have it covered. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even being biased. It's almost subjectively one of the best places to watch your favorite sports.
Mm-hmm.
On our 2,000 square foot LED screen, we can get over 30 different screens or sporting events at a time. So there's seating for over 200 people with some really comfortable loungers and booths, and not a single bad view in the house.
Soccer is big time. It's going on now, and it'll actually be going on throughout the summer with big matches. It's a great place to catch soccer, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and we'll definitely have the Euro Cup playing. We always have an array of sports on, but when there's something big going on, it definitely takes precedence on the screen.
UFC has gotten huge, and you can check UFC out at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Yeah, we do have the pay-per-view UFC fights, and we don't have cover charges on those either. And another fun one is Formula One racing. So come out and watch those races on the big screen. And Wimbledon is starting, which leads me into we have more than just a big screen here. We also have a full restaurant and bar at Potawatomi Sportsbook. And one of the specialty cocktails on the menu is called the Pimm's Cup, which is the drink of choice at the Wimbledon. It's delicious, if I do say so myself.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. And this isn't typical bar food at Potawatomi. The ingredients, the presentation, it's top tier, and it comes at a great price.
It does. And from wings with dipping sauces made fresh and in-house to a 10-ounce French onion burger made from a blend of brisket, chuck, and short rib to a classic stadium brat, all I can say is my mouth is watering.
That makes 2 of us. That's a serious spread. It's big food. It's big fun. It's Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Kiosks open 24/7. Check it out. What's the website?
Paysbig.com.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Patriotic spirit is here to stay. Celebrate the summer with big savings at Menards. Pick up an Olympus 3x5-foot American flag today. It's made in the USA out of durable, tear-resistant material that will keep your flag flying. Show your patriotism and save big. It's on sale now through July 7th at Menards. Ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among home improvement retailers according to J.D. Power. For more information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Lola.
I had seen a lot of retirement places. In a minute, I drove into the driveway coming into Three Pillars. I was sold. The grounds are just beautiful. The management are just incredibly kind people. That mood permeates the atmosphere to me, whether it's the staff, the people that serve it in the restaurant, and the residents themselves. It's just a lot of caring, kind people.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Call with your problem. We'll try to solve it. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning, Dayton Kane and David Nason with you. We appreciate you listening and the calls and texts, 855-616-1620. Let's go to RJ in Lincoln, Illinois. Good morning. Thanks for listening.
RJ?
What's your question?
Morning, guys.
trying to determine, we got a situation going between our insurance company, a couple of contractors, and an independent inspection company that's looked at our roof. The two contractors that we've had look at our roof both say we have hail damage and need to have our roof replaced. The insurance company that we're not going to name has denied the claim because they had an independent inspector look at it. No damage found. Now after these two contractors have provided pictures and proof, soft metal damage on a number of things on the roof, they're coming back to look at the roof again to determine whether or not they'll cover replacement. How do I know whether or not I'm being treated fairly?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we run into this a lot. The problem is the pictures should be proof. Like if they actually have pictures now, is there actual pictures of the shingles, not just the soft metals?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well then.
Well, both.
Yeah. You need both because sometimes the valleys or the static vents can get dented, but there's not enough damage to the shingle itself. But if you got both, if you got pictures of pitting on the shingles, the other thing you can do is wait a year because you have time to claim this. Go through the winter, have them back after that point because oftentimes the winter, the ice, the snow, that'll cause the shingles to show more of that granule loss.
Right.
But getting that, the fact that the insurance company is sending a second adjuster back is a good sign, and the chances are they're going to find it if they already see pictures.
So I also remember from working in insurance restoration in Wisconsin, there's a commission, an insurance commission here that you can contact. So I don't know if there's something in Illinois as well, where if you have a question or a complaint about how an insurance company is behaving, I guess, or addressing a claim. So you might want to see if there is some kind of consumer insurance commission in Illinois that can address your concerns if you need to go there. I think that hopefully the second adjuster will
I'm thinking if you
handle it.
Had two contractors out there and they both have pictures of it, I'm thinking this new adjuster is going to
inspector.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, and I don't know, I'm not affiliated with any insurance, so I can talk about it this way. I think what we've seen is some of these insurance companies are starting to say, no, there's no damage, and people drop it at that point. It's those who go back and say, no, I've got proof, I need another adjuster out here. Oh, suddenly we find hail damage.
Right.
So just keep pushing, a little bit. It's sad to say that, but I've seen that happen several times where the adjuster comes out and says, nope, no hail damage. We show pictures, another adjuster comes out, and magically hail damage has appeared. So
we have an insurance company coming up on the show in a couple weeks. Maybe that question can be addressed at that time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who it is at this point, but when they come on, they'll be on the show in 2 weeks, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Pretty good chance I'll be listening in to listen to Jack Grouse, so maybe I'll call back in and we'll talk to him. One last question about this situation. Do you think we have any, I don't want to sound accusatory, but do you think the situation with this independent inspection company creates any issues for me? Because, they've obviously said to the insurance company, no damage. Two contractors say damage. Do you think the claim has been tainted in any way by this inspection company saying no damage, but these other two say, yeah, there's damage? Do you think there's a problem there at all?
I don't think so. I mean, there's differing opinions, obviously. But I tainted it? No, I don't think so. I don't know who the inspection company is. I mean, you obviously could bring in another inspection company.
You could say it the other way. This new inspector that's coming out, is he tainted by the two contractors saying there's hail damage?
Yeah.
Now he's going to go, yeah, there is hail damage versus. So it again, that's why you get several people looking at it. You get different pictures, you get different perspectives. So.
Okay. Well, it's actually State Farm. State Farm. Well, I named them. Oops. The insurance company is sending one of their adjusters out, an actual employee of State Farm. Two employees are going to come and look at the roof in a couple weeks. So I guess we'll just wait and see what they come up with.
Yeah, good luck.
Is Jake coming or
in his
Aaron
khakis?
Rodgers or what's his name from the Chiefs?
Mahomes.
You get somebody like that.
Oh. That's why they don't want to pay your bills, is because they're paying those guys. Right. All right. We need to stop this conversation before we all get in trouble. Sure, Thanks for calling in. Have a great weekend. 855-616-1620. That is the WTMJ talk and text line. Feel free to call in with any questions and not name people on the air. We don't like doing that, but we're going to go over to Jack Grau. We'll name him. He's our news guy. He's in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning. 3 people, including a child, dead after a crash near 91st and West Mill Road on Friday afternoon. The crash happened around 3:30 on July 5th. Milwaukee police say a 55-year-old driver crashed into another vehicle with a 28-year-old and a 9-year-old inside. The 55-year-old driver was taken to the hospital, where they were later pronounced dead. The Manawa police say residents can return home after being evacuated earlier Friday due to flooding and dire warnings about the dam at Little Wolf River. The department advises residents to drive carefully and avoid standing water, as there may be erosion under it. Fire crews said while they are no longer believing the dam will collapse, they're monitoring the bridge over County Road North after the heavy water flow. And the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office is now investigating the death of Devontae Mitchell. He died outside the downtown Hyatt Regency on Sunday. Video shows 4 Hyatt security guards on top of Mitchell outside. When police arrived, he had died. Hyatt tells TMJ4 News the security guards have since been suspended. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Nothing major across the Milwaukee traffic system right now. Not seeing any major slowdowns or complications. Near Brookfield, however, on 94 West, beyond the ramp from Highway 100, that right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. But looking near downtown Milwaukee, really no problems or complications. Wherever you're driving to should be smooth sailing to get there.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Now it's time for the Weather Sounder, your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A high of 77 today and partly cloudy, and a low of 63 this evening. On Sunday, a high of 81 with some isolated morning showers there. On Monday, a high of 79 to start the week with some scattered showers and storms. Pretty consistent the rest of the week after that. On Tuesday, a high of 82 with isolated showers and storms. Wednesday, a high of 81 with a slight chance of showers. I'm Jack Grau, Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:33.
David Nason, host of the Fix It Show, here with my friend Chris Mancuso, owner of Accurate Basement Repair. Chris, what are some signs of basement problems that need to be addressed?
Hey, David, that's a great question. I would say wall cracks, leaning walls, dark or maybe some discolored stains across the walls. Those are really important things to look at.
As a home inspector, I see this often. Don't wait to call the experts I recommend at Accurate Basement Repair today for your free assessment. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at ADAMM.com.
And that's the best thing about Capital's AC Beyondification.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Hey, Merle, what you got? What's this? A screenplay?
Let me see this. Captain Capital, Heat and Air Hero.
That's so awesome, Merle.
Hang on. I've been writing a screenplay like this.
For years.
It's an epic, and it's Capital Man, not Captain Capital. Yes, of course he restores your air conditioner to like new condition.
Says here, Captain Capital has a deep clean device.
Aha! Capital Man deep cleans your system with his laser beam hands.
What?
I'm developing a sidekick. He always does the comprehensive safety checks. You wrote yourself in as the sidekick?
As long as it gets across how Capital's AC Beyondification saves the day.
And how you want to do it before summer hits.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
Then it's great.
Laura, Seth, I need a moment with Merle, please.
Schedule your AC Beyondification today online at callcapitalcares.com.
If it needs fixing, we can help. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Brewers playing in L.A. tonight, 6:10 first pitch. Make sure you catch the game here on WTMJ. Dayton Kane, David Nason talking to you about fixing stuff. No guests this hour, so we got answer any question you want to answer. Like this text that came through, we were talking about hail damage before, and this simply says granule loss is not hail damage, which is a true statement. Hail causes granule loss, but that's not the only thing that's not the only thing you can look at to see if you have hail damage.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that. That is part of what can happen.
Because a new roof, when a new shingle roof is installed, many times your gutters will get a little bit of granules in them because obviously as the shingles are being handled and everything, some of the granules are going to loosen, and as it first rains, it'll wash some of those off. But the reality is that it's when the shingles get older, and you can see it when the granule loss is, and the edges of the shingles get shiny. You can see that from the ground even.
Right.
Or if they discolor, you're losing the color of the roof, then you know you're losing the granules.
So granule loss doesn't prove hail damage. Hail damage isn't the only thing that can cause granule loss.
Right. Yes.
They can both,
Two things can be true.
They can both exist. Yes. All right. Another text here at 855-616-1620. Looking at replacement roof options, I currently have 30-year architectural shingle, one layer. The metal shingle people want me to leave the one layer on the roof. I have a problem with that, let alone the $9K more it is over asphalt shingles. So they're saying they want to put a metal roof on. It's more expensive than shingles. Yes. And they want to leave the old shingles up there. That is also common install practice.
Yes.
So,
especially with a metal roof.
Yeah.
They go right over it. I wonder if it adds to the sound deadening of a metal roof. I mean, a lot of times people are like, well, is it going to be louder? I don't know. I can't say that I've ever been in a house with a metal roof on it during either a heavy rainstorm or a hailstorm. My neighbor right across the street from me has a metal roof. I've never gone over there.
You should talk to him.
Yeah.
See how they did his.
Check that out.
But yeah, I get it. Metal roof is kind of new. People are really starting to look into it more, and there's just questions that come up. I've seen it done both ways. If you do pull all those old shingles off, you still got to ice and water, and often they'll ice and water the entire deck,
right?
Like to make sure that it's waterproof.
And they might have to put a foam or some other kind of decking on before they put the metal on.
Right.
It's possible. I don't know all the details of that.
This one says, my window wells need to be replaced. The metal is all rusted through. The basement remains dry. Who can fix this? I bet we have a guy next hour that might be able to fill us in on that a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's really more like a handyman kind of thing because window contractors aren't going to do the window wells. They'll do the windows. Basement contractors, I'm not sure that if you're doing basement work, they could probably do that in conjunction with it, but just to come out doing window wells. My neighbor is replacing his own window wells, but he's a pretty handy guy. He had some equipment to pull out the old steel ones, and he's digging down by hand and everything. So it's a labor-intensive job.
Right.
And so you're really looking for somebody, again, if you're having other work, remodeling work done or something, ask the crew to do it? Sure. But for a company to just come out, you're really looking for a handyman kind of.
I have one window well I need to deal with, and I just don't want to do. I know what I have to do.
Sure,
but you're right, labor intensive.
I'm thankful that I don't have window wells. My windows are up out of the ground. Yeah, my house is a little higher.
Yeah, nice.
So, tough one to answer. I maybe try at
We'll
Home
see if
Depot.
Chris Mancuso next hour knows of a company that does that specific thing.
I would try
because I would assume they get asked that question a lot at Accurate.
Go to the pro desk at Home Depot or Menards and see, hey, I want to buy these window wells. Do you know anybody who can help me? They do have contractors that shop there and everything. They might have a resource for you.
855-616-1620. That's the WTMJ talking text line. This one says, I have a 1,200-foot ranch home. I placed a temperature monitor in the attic during our recent hot spell and found it reach 133 degrees at one time. I discussed this with a contractor who suggested the removal of my ridge vent and install a turbine vent. Any options?
Opinions.
Opinions, yeah.
Well, so with attic venting, I think it's a 15-degree temperature range. Your attic shouldn't be 15 or 20 degrees hotter than it is outside.
Right.
So depending on, I don't think it was 110 degrees that day.
No,
so
hasn't hit that yet.
Yeah. So the one thing I want to point out here is the contractor suggesting the removal of the ridge vent and adding a different vent. Good for you, because for them to just suggest adding the turbine vent or the power vent, whatever, you should only have one kind of vent on your roof, whether it's a ridge vent or whether it's the fixed static vents, or whether it's a turbine vent or it's a power vent. Only one type of vent, because they don't work together very well. They don't play well together, because the power vent or the turbine vent generally will turn the other types of vents on your roof into intake vents up high on the roof, and you don't want those other vents bringing air in. You want the air coming in from down low. So maybe the question is here is, do you have enough ventilation in your soffits?
That's what I was going to ask.
Where the air is supposed to be coming in so that it can vent out. So the ridge vent, there's a good chance the ridge vent is enough. It's what's supplying that ridge vent.
So the ridge vent goes along the entire roof. There should be 50% intake on one side of your house, 50% on the other side. And just because you see venting on your soffits doesn't mean you're actually venting anything. You need to check your attic to make sure, one, there's a hole cut above that vent, and two, the air actually can get to that hole in your vent. It's not covered. Yeah, it's not covered with insulation. So a lot goes into venting an attic. But you're right. If you put a turbine on, you got to get rid of the other exhaust that you're putting up there. But you still need the intake.
You do.
You still need that intake.
But you don't want the
somewhere.
intake up high.
Right.
Because if the intake and exhaust is all up
They're
high,
just fighting each other.
Then and then the air just stays down low, and that's what it's going to cause the condensation problem.
Great question. We'll take more of them when we get back. 855-616-1620 is the WTMJ Talk and Text line. It is the Fix-It Show, and this is WTMJ.
Eric Brown and his crew from Siding Unlimited can fix whatever's wrong with the outside of your house. How do you know what's wrong with it? Well, look for these trouble signs. On your windows, paint peeling, wood rot or damage from condensation? How well do they operate? Got mold on the storm windows? Siding have any dents, holes, or chips, paint or color issues? Is the caulking cracked? How's the flashing? Roof look okay? How about your doors? Decks are another place for critical inspection. Maybe you'd just like to have a new one. Eric is a regular here on the Fix-It Show. You regular listeners are aware of his expertise. He's president of Siding Unlimited, but that's not a desk job. He's out there working with the crews, inspecting people's structure problems and fixing them. Siding Unlimited will fix yours too. Make a note to contact Siding Unlimited online at sidingunlimited.com or see Siding Unlimited's unique outside-in showroom near Gerke's Corners in Brookfield.
Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, our biggest priority is the care and service we provide to our clients. We know accidents can be overwhelming, and we're here to help every step of the way. Call now. One call, that's all.
You're never going to believe it.
Why would I not believe it?
John Hoyman has a big idea. Big.
John, our Chief Financial Officer?
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Are we in trouble?
No. Everything is great.
Tell them your idea.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July.
Subject to approved credit, right?
Of course, just ask an associate for details.
That's a year and a half to pay. Can we do that?
We're an employee-owned company. We can do anything we want.
Sarah, are you nervous we can't afford it?
Sarah, this is John, our CFO. If John says we can afford it, we can afford it.
Do you like the idea of 18-month special financing?
I like it.
I like it.
But only for purchases made in July, right?
Right.
I like it.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July. Only at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Advice you can use. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning, 745. Dayton Kane and David Nason here. Thanks for joining us as we talk through this hour with no guests. So we're taking all kinds of questions, which is awesome. We appreciate that. But now it is time for our Cool Tool segment. What do we have this week, David?
I got to turn my microphone on. That's a cool tool.
Doing that. That is a nice tool. A microphone, it works well when you use it right.
So I typically don't do a lot of testing for hazardous gases in a house, like natural gas and things. It's not part of an inspection. Some people ask about that sometimes. And my opinion is, like, if I'm not testing every valve or every connection in a gas line, I can't, with any definitively say there's no gas leak in your house.
Right, right.
And so if I can't do that, then I'm not going to test anything. Well, I did go out and buy a little gas leak tool. And
is that a vape pen?
No.
Oh, okay.
It is a combustible gas tester. This little thing here, you put it up to a gas valve or something, and it'll tell you, how many parts per million that it's testing.
Whoa! What is your microphone is not a good tool for you today.
So I got it because I wanted to be able to have something in case we did sense. Say somebody's like, some people have a better sense of smell than I do. They're walking in, I'm getting a smell. I wanted to be able to pull out a meter and say, okay, we're sensing something here that I can call out in a report and say, look, we need to have a plumber or We Energy, somebody come out and make sure that we don't have a gas leak here. So it's a little tool, just not too expensive. If you're interested, you could go out and buy one online. There's a website called Inspection Tools. They literally have everything that I use as an inspector to do my inspection. So I thought that was kind of cool.
It does look like a vape pen.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You won't catch me vaping. So
no, nobody should be vaping.
Yeah.
There's my PSA for the day.
Right.
Wow, look at this thing. What is that now?
I've had this one here before. One of my favorite.
Is this the water tester?
My favorite moisture tester.
Yeah, there we go.
This is a probing moisture meter, and when it you can hear it beeping here. And so it's got, if you're watching the camera, it's got these probes. These are 4-inch probes or maybe 3-inch. And I have 6-inch probes also. And this is the probe that I use when I do a level 2 EIFS inspection. EIFS is that exterior insulation finish system, or stone veneer. If I'm trying to test what the moisture is in the plywood or the it's kind of like a drywall type product, gypsum based product behind the EIFS or behind the stone veneer. And so I was using this week on 2 moisture inspections I was doing, trying to get behind the siding or get behind the material on the exterior of the house or reach into a wall cavity or something. And so the little probes here, they're green, they're insulated on the side, so just the tips are exposed. So all I'm trying to do is I don't want to go through something and have that give me a false reading. So it's just the tips that are reading the moisture. So I use this on those specialty type inspections.
I might need to borrow that because right by my shower, there's a little bubbling of the paint.
Yep.
And I'm like, is that surface level or is that coming through from behind? That would help me figure that out. So we do have a couple calls, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Andy in Green Bay and Steve in Hartford. It is a Fix-It show. If you want to ask a question, 855-616-1620.
WTMJ is your station to catch all things Brewers. Listen to Bob Uecker.
Get out of here and way gone!
Jeff Leverett.
Struck him out with a changeup.
Lane Grindle.
And it's a called third strike!
And Josh Mauer.
Watch this, baby. Goodbye.
Call every game.
I'm surprised you still have fingernails on that right hand.
Have a little fun.
I got more in my bag.
On your home for the Milwaukee Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
With hail and high winds experienced this year in South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and surrounding areas, Ridgetop Exteriors has been hard at work helping the community get their homes repaired. If you've experienced damage to your home, you need a local and trusted contractor. Ridgetop Exterior's expert team specializes in navigating the insurance process so your repairs can get done. And they're happy to come out anytime for a free damage inspection. Schedule your free inspection today at ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. ridgetopexteriors.com.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Grandpa was long retired from working in the Rapids paper mill when I finished law school.
Dan Kraus, Army veteran and owner of Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
Grandpa and Grandma asked me to help them get their wills set up. They worried about losing the homestead if they needed nursing care. This was my first experience with estate planning. I just loved it. During the years that I spent in the Army Reserves as a JAG attorney, I was building a small estate planning law firm. After retiring from 21 years in the Army, I've been growing the firm with 3 offices now to help more seniors like my grandparents. At Kraus Estate Planning, our entire team loves helping seniors. It's a requirement in our recruiting process. We do help people of all ages, but we hope all of our clients will become seniors one day.
Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center in Brookfield, Madison, and Oregon. A veteran-owned law firm.
Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
Annex Wealth Management, investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Are you in the market for a new roof, but overwhelmed at how to start the process? Well, here's a suggestion. Go with Tri-County Contracting. Installing roofs since the 70s, this family-owned company works for you. Stop by their showroom in New Berlin or go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. You don't want a process that takes forever. Tri-County Contracting makes it easy, from getting the estimate to getting that brand new roof. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Advice you can use. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Come and ride the train and ride it. No? Quad City DJs playing 4:30 Aurora Pavilion today at Summerfest. It's like a 90s, early 2000s.
I'm sure I've heard it before, but it's not
yeah.
It's not on my playlist.
Last day at Summerfest, so if you haven't gotten there yet, you got to get there today. 855-616-1620, the WTMJ Talking Text Line. Dayton and David here with you. Let's get to Andy in Green Bay. Thanks for holding on. What's your question this morning?
No problem. Good morning, guys. I've got a question for you. So we bought a house in Wauwatosa, and we had the inspection done, and they had to put braces on one side of the basement wall.
Okay.
And then we had the tuck pointing done, and it's just during the hot days we were going to put drywall in the basement, but during like the hot, humid days that we have, we get moisture just on that one wall where they did the braces.
Weird. So you asked this question right at the right time, Andy, because Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair just stepped in the studio.
Yeah, he's on next hour, but he's
if
here.
we don't have an expert better than him, I don't know who can answer this. So braced walls, everything should be good, but they're sweating still. What's
Just
causing
so you
that?
know, I'm not prepared for any of this.
Oh, come on.
How you going? Yeah, that dampness you have there, it might just be a matter of controlling the air and humidity in the basement, too. I would try that first. would try that first. But keep in mind, if that wall was braced, there was probably cracks in it. So the cracks in the inside.
Said they had tuck pointing done.
Yeah, so they would tuck point the inside, but the cracks in the outside will still be there. And sometimes that allows water to get into the block hollows because those blocks are hollow. And so those walls tend to be higher humidity levels because it can still hold some water. So my suggestion would be to do some really good grading if you can.
Gutters grading is downspouts.
And try to keep the humidity off that wall. And when you go to finish that wall, so if you're going to finish a basement inside, if you don't have a radon system, put one in. And I don't sell radon, so I'm not trying to, hawk this out, but I would put a radon system in with a really good fan because it'll help pull some of that humidity out from between the wall that you're building and the masonry construction itself.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was planning on pitching it. What do you think about that paint that they make that seals the concrete brick?
I like it. There's a whole bunch of different products. David's looking at me like, which one are you going to suggest?
The I can't think of the name now. Something block.
David
drawing a
was
blank
up
on the
late
name of the
because
paint.
his child came roaming in at 4 in the
right.
morning. So
Yes.
So what do you recommend, Chris?
So there is a couple different products.
Dry lock.
Yeah, dry lock's one of them, but the wall can't be painted beforehand, so there's a little bit of work to it. If your wall is bare, dry lock's been around a long time. It's a kind of a masonry based product. It's got some cement in it actually. But there's a couple other ones. There's some rubberized ones you can put on. Do a little research. They're a little pricey, but I mean, if you're going to finish the basement, you definitely want to put something on the wall. I did at my own houses, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and absolutely make sure your grading is sloped away from the house in that area.
Yeah, I'll have to build that up a little bit more. I did that, and I thought it was the rain coming in, but I don't think it's the rain. I think there might be some residual moisture in there.
And keep in mind, if the house is old, could you have a drain tile problem itself? You could. You could have a drain tile problem, but usually it'll masticize in a couple different spots. But I would, if you're finishing, do the radon system because it keeps moisture out, and then check your humidity levels. You can get one of these little sensors you can put in your basement.
Definitely run a dehumidifier.
Yeah, and a good one too.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there is one down there, and we've been running it like crazy. So
yeah, if you're still getting it, then I would, try that stuff, and then definitely put some dry lock or some product on the walls too.
It's funny you mentioned the radon system because I just asked David today for the contact he has. I'm like, I need a radon system to dry my basement, not because of radon. I mean, I'm right at that level, but I'm more want to get that moisture out from under my basement.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. Good idea.
Awesome. Andy, thanks for the question. Congrats on the new house.
Yep, you guys have a good weekend.
All right,
you too.
All right, we do need to take a break, and when we come back, we'll do the news with Jack Grau. But he's supposed to be in next hour, already joining us early. I
slept here last night.
Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair next hour on WTMJ.
This has been The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. I wanted to tell you the news. They not only have 2 beautiful locations in Brookfield I just went to, there's a 3rd dental office under construction right now, opening soon in Wauwatosa. Go to elmbrookfamilydental.com. Their new Wauwatosa dental office is being built right now near Research Park, and it's set to open August 1st. Go to elmbrookfamilydental.com. You don't have to wait months to get in. It's a one-stop shop for the entire family. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
David Nason, host of The Fix-It Show, here with my friend Chris Mancuso, owner of Accurate Basement Repair. Chris, what are some signs of basement problems that need to be addressed?
Hey, David, that's a great question. I would say wall cracks, leaning walls, dark or maybe some discolored stains across the walls. Those are really important things to look at.
As a home inspector, I see this often. Don't wait to call the experts I recommend at Accurate Basement Repair today for your free assessment. They're not just good, they're accurate.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Dollar driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, receive 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Whoa, look at the big spenders over in L.A. Let's see if they can actually measure up to our skill.
3-1 offering. Yelich, a liner out to right. Going back is Cade. Looking up. Gone!
The Brewers-Dodgers coverage starts tonight at 5 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, it's 66 degrees and mostly sunny in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jack Grau. South Texas is bracing for Hurricane Beryl. KEYE TV's Jamal Kennedy reports from Austin.
This is a determined storm that is still strong.
Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, alongside the Texas Division of Emergency Management, wants all Texans to brace for Beryl, which is expected to make its first major impact on the state Monday.
We're preparing for the worst, praying and hoping for the least amount of rain and a lesser storm, but you want to be in position of wherever you're going to be by Monday.
Disaster declarations have been issued for 40 Texas counties in advance of the storm. A family reeling and looking for answers. Devontae Mitchell died outside downtown Hyatt Regency on Sunday after an incident with security. Video shows 4 Hyatt security guards on top of Mitchell outside. When police arrived, he was dead. Mitchell's mother, Brenda Giles, tells TMJ4 News even though the guards involved have now been suspended, she wants to see more consequences.
It looked like the side of his face was bashed in. It was bashed in. It was bashed in. All across here was just swollen.
The Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office is now investigating Mitchell's death. Residents of more than a dozen apartments destroyed by fire are trying to pick up the pieces after the blaze tore through the building at 84th and Mill Road on the 4th of July. Resident Sharice Parker tells TMJ4 News she and her family were woken up by the neighbors.
So we just got what we can, shoes, keys, purse. It was just ran out the door and it just moved. It just moved. And then it stopped in the front of this unit. It is a fire structure wall. It stopped there and it just burned. It was devastating because it was people coming home from the 4th seeing their unit on fire.
An errant firework is suspected as the cause of the fire, but Milwaukee Fire has not released any official information on the cause. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is approaching 8:04.
Family owned and operated. Yep, we sure are. Since 1970. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. But the words family owned and operated hold a lot of water. They mean you can count on dealing with an expert. Because when your dad runs the show, he teaches you all that he knows. They mean prompt service. Because it's not just our job, it's a big part of our life. They mean you're actually working with someone who has accountability and a real interest in your satisfaction and their business's overall success. So when you hear businesses say the words family owned and operated, give them a try. Because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call That's All Sports Desk. Tough start for the Brewers in Los Angeles, an 8-5 loss to the Dodgers. Still some energy from the Brewers. Rhys Hoskins hitting a grand slam. You can hear the first pitch of Game 2 at 6:15 tonight on WTMJ with Brewers warm-up starting right at 5 o'clock. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We're not seeing anything major across the Milwaukee traffic system right now. No major slowdowns or complications. Wherever you're driving to should be a smooth ride getting there.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox & Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a high of 77 today and partly cloudy, hitting a low of 63 this evening. On Sunday, a high of 81 with some isolated showers in the morning. Monday, to start the week, a high of 79 with scattered showers and storms, and that's going to be pretty consistent as we get farther throughout the week. A high of 82 on Tuesday with some isolated showers and storms. A high of 81 Wednesday with a slight chance of showers and storms, kind of tapering off there. In Madison, you're getting temperatures like 65 degrees and cloudy. Up in Green Bay, 64 degrees and sunny. In Waukesha, 66 degrees, mostly sunny. Right here in Milwaukee, 66 degrees and mostly sunny. I'm Jack Grau, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy, and we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton Kane and David Nason.
Welcome to hour number 2. It is July 6th, first Saturday of the month, and we are joined, as you heard, if you tuned in at the end of last hour, Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Thanks for jumping in early
Chris.
on that call.
Hey, do I sound different now?
Yes, you do. You sound prepared now.
Yeah, that's no. Don't
We
even.
caught you. We caught you off guard there a little bit.
Threw him to the wolves, and he answered well.
Let's not start lying out of the gate. We got some great stuff for today, though.
So tell us what you do.
So, this is Chris Mancuso, Accurate Basement Repair. And for those of you listening, yes, indeed, we do basement repair. So it's been raining a lot, as everyone knows. It's a lot of rain, and there's some, there's basements are getting wet.
Yeah.
Basements are getting really wet.
Even basements that usually don't get wet are getting wet.
Even basements that don't get wet are getting wet. So we're going to talk about how to address the ones that are kind of off, right? One-offs. Hey, I never get water. What should I do now? Well, I'm getting water. How to address that and how not to get taken advantage of, because there's plenty of companies that will take advantage of that fact. Hey, you had it once. Oh, my gosh. So we'll talk about that today. We'll talk about some of the preventative maintenance things that might have been overlooked. So we'll talk about that today. Talk a little bit about the kind of teams that would come out to your house. And if you do have a problem, kind of what should you expect and stuff like that today.
So we did get a question we tried to answer last hour, but thought you might know a company that's strictly does window wells. Do you know a company out there that will come in, take out your old window well, put in a new one, redo all the stuff around there?
That's a great question. I'm not familiar with one.
Yeah, it's hard to find,
I was
right?
suggesting a handyman kind of, because it's really just labor intensive.
Yeah, if you do have that issue, if you do have that window well thing, that's something we would do, but we wouldn't do it during the busy season. We would wait until...
Or if it's part of a project, if you're bracing walls and repairing walls, sometimes you got to pull out windows in order to get materials in and out, right?
Absolutely. If we were doing a project at your house, we generally will suggest to do window wells then too, because we're already there.
Right.
So, and the window wells, what people are going, what do you mean window well? Well, it's the well that goes around your window, but a lot of times through time, the window wells, if they're not attached to the building, sometimes they'll settle over time, or they just won't meet the grading requirements. They just are sitting in too low. So you want to add like some height to them. So then we'll do that.
Yeah, and they may not be draining properly either. If they're overflowing and then water's coming in through the windows.
Yeah, the bottoms of them a lot of times are filled with debris. So you kind of want to take, even if we dig those out a little bit, so there's enough gap between the top of the window ledge and then the bottom of it. We want, because they fill up with debris, and all of a sudden the dirt inside that well's higher than the window itself. And then you're like, how did that dirt and water come in? Well, it's kind of coming over the top of the window edge here.
You just need some gravel in there so it can drain.
Yeah, a little bit of gravel.
Not a lot of rocket science, but a lot of work to put into it, right? To get that in and out. You're moving dirt. It's a hard labor.
It's it's labor intensive.
Yeah.
So we do. So for accurate, for those of you who don't know, I was a fireman for 25 years in the city of Milwaukee, and thank you. We bring this up on every show. David was a CB.
Right.
Yes, for those of you who don't know what a CB is, you guys are like, what's this CB thing that he's on? Yeah, it's not CBD, by the way. It's not CBD oil or anything.
The construction battalions for the U.S. Navy.
Yeah, so that's big reason why he got so handy. So
one of the reasons, yeah.
Oh yeah, huge. But we do a lot of work at Accurate for military, fire, and police, and those dudes are the I can do this myself, dudes.
Yeah.
And those are the same people that are like, F this. We're not. A couple of them have worked for me. They're like, dude, I'm not doing that work. I'd rather work some overtime and pay you. Right. So it's hilarious. Yeah, the firemen, military, and police, it's just hilarious because those dudes are no nonsense, too. Does this really need a permit? Yeah, guy, it needs a permit. I ain't got no permit for that. Forget that. Illegal bathrooms in their basements. And they're like, I never pulled a permit. You need a permit to put a bathroom in? Yeah, guys, you kind of do.
Yeah, right.
But it's hilarious. They'll call and, it's a riot. But, it's labor intensive. It's hard work. It's not rocket science, but it's very labor intensive. It takes.
But it also needs to be done right.
Absolutely.
The work that you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is, especially when it comes to structural stuff. So I don't want to downplay it because there's some finesse to it. And laying drain tile, there's some finesse to that too. And finishing the floors. So as remedial as it may seem to me, it can get kind of complicated, especially older houses.
Sure.
Yeah. Chris Mancuso, Accurate Basement Repair, all hour, 855-616-1620, the WTMJ Talking Text line. Get your calls in. We have Scott from Racine on the line. We'll talk to him when we come back on WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio. Live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there.
It's almost like
But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. rejuvenex.com to request your free paint evaluation.
There's a reason why we install Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your reputation is on the line, you pick the brand you can trust. It's like our employees. You pick the best to preserve your good name. A guy like me that's been working on furnaces and AC systems for over half my life. I got an eye for the good stuff. And Armstrong Air Pro Series systems fit the bill. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you need a good crew installing a system you can rely on, see the man in the red van.
Quality heating, quality heating.
Emergency service 24/7. Quality Heating has 25 trucks ready to work around the clock to get out there quickly to solve your heating or AC problem. So when that system goes on the fritz and you want to avoid that sweaty summer heat or bypass the fear of frozen feet, the man in the red van can't be beat when it comes to prompt, reliable service. Call Quality Heating for any emergency HVAC need.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get her done. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Definitely a show David's been dying to see. Little Uzi Vert going to be on the American Family Amphitheater stage. Oh, if you're watching online right now, you're getting a show. I've never seen such dance moves from David before.
Yeah, right.
So Summerfest, last day going on. Make sure you get out there if you haven't yet.
I was there yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah, Maroon 5, man, rocking in the seats. You should have seen me. My wife's like... I did like 10,000 steps.
Were your
from
kids
my
with you?
seat.
They're like, Dad,
No,
stop.
My wife did say we should bring the kids next time, but it was a rocking show. It was a great time.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
They haven't been around this long for nothing.
Yeah, he puts on a good show. It was fun, man. We had a blast.
Nice. All right, 855-616-1620, the WTMJ Talking text line. The guy talking right there is Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair, so we're taking your calls about that and whatever else, like this question from Scott in Racine. Thanks for holding on so long. What's your question, Scott?
Well, I heard you say you had a bubble by your shower stall. I had one too. So I hope I'm doing this right. I scraped it. I noticed the drywall was wet behind it. I got to let it air dry now. I'm thinking about taking a blow dryer, getting the dry out, maybe patch it with some spackle or some compound, let that dry, lightly sand it, and then paint it, and I'm going to put a line of caulk right by it. I don't know how that water got, because when I get in the shower stall, I make sure the liner's not dripping anywhere, but am I doing it right?
It sounds like you are. You do. You definitely want to make sure everything behind the framing, everything is dry before you start putting new material back in there. And when you put that spackling in, don't use the entire can at one time. You gotta layer it a little bit. You gotta use a little bit, let it dry. Use a little bit, let it dry, and then you get to your final coat that you can sand. So don't try to repair it all in one shot there. And the saying, if a little caulk is good, a lot of caulk is better. That's really a joke. So don't go too heavy on the caulk, but use a good silicone caulk, something that's going to stick to the surfaces that you're caulking, but also resist the water.
Also, I caulked another area, and I was trying to get that fine line, and I used a Q-tip, and it worked great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. The other thing is to use blue painter's tape. If you're caulking along edges,
yeah, I got that.
Lay some blue painter's tape down, and you can caulk, and then you pull your tape, and you got a nice straight edge.
Yeah, that works great.
Yeah, that works. You're right, sir. And as far as Summerfest goes, I took the parking ride, and that was just fabulous.
Awesome.
Right on.
Great.
$10 round trip, you can't beat it.
You weren't dancing next to me last night, were you?
No.
Well,
I went
maybe next
last
time.
Thursday.
Awesome.
But thank you.
Hey,
All right,
thanks for
thanks for
listening.
calling.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, you're-
855-616-1620 if you want to chime in.
Yeah, you're right though with the caulk thing and the spackle thing. I'm that guy too.
Yeah.
Too much. And I'm like, oh man.
Because what happens is it doesn't get a chance to dry properly, and then it dries
Yep.
too quickly, and then it cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to go a little bit at a time. Let it cure a little bit more.
Yeah, everyone learns that the hard way.
Less is
don't they?
more.
Yeah, everyone tries it the other way.
Yeah, right.
And then you're like, wow, why did this all crack? And
Yeah.
you're like, gosh, Jim.
Same thing with
Dang it.
mortar. You can't go too. You can't put too much mortar in a place. It'll dry out and crack.
Get the gosh dang it. Why did I do that? So
Mhm.
that's funny. I like the Q-tip.
We got a picture
didn't
over
think that would
here
work.
on the text line. It says, former owner painted a part of a concrete block basement. As you can see on the photo, the pros on your show say not to paint, that it covers up potential problems. What are the options with this present condition, or should it be left as is? So why we say that if you see paint on the walls, somebody's
Yeah.
trying to hide something
Well-
sometimes, but not always.
So it can work in two ways, Chris, right? If you
absolutely.
paint and you're not moving for years, you know you're not moving, go ahead and paint. If you're moving next week or in a couple months and everything, I would avoid painting because then it looks like you're covering something up. But if I'm inspecting a basement, and if you are, Chris, too, and it looks like you painted 5-10 years ago, the paint's going to be a little dirty or something. But if there's no cracks in the paint, well, then that shows there's no wall movement. Right?
Correct.
And also, if there are cracks, if you paint the wall and there were cracks and there's paint in the cracks, that means those cracks were there when you painted versus if you paint and it cracks and there's no paint in the cracks.
Correct.
That means the wall moved.
I agree. So there's mixed, should I paint, shouldn't I? If you can paint it. I mean, nowadays we all have these high-end cell phones, right? So if you're going to paint your houses for sale, I would take a really good video of it.
Mm-hmm.
In case something comes up, because that's what's meant by that when we talk about painting or not painting. A lot of it has to do with, am I going to look like I'm covering something? But in the picture that we had seen here a couple minutes ago, that it's a dirty wall and it's got some moisture coming through. And David and I and Dayton looked at it. We said you should clean it.
Right.
There's products you can get at the big box stores to clean your walls,
Yeah.
get some mold
Dawn
off.
dish soap works really well. Just keep in mind that bleach is not a good cleaner. It's a good disinfectant, but you need a detergent. You need some kind of soap.
Yeah, you're right.
Right,
Yeah,
'cause,
to get that off.
Soap is a surfactant, basically. It makes surfaces slippery, so that makes the Dawn dish soap, takes the grease out of the way. It made the plate slippery.
No one thought they'd hear the word surfactant.
Surfactant, right? Yeah,
that's what
big
I'm
word,
talking about.
surfactant.
Yeah.
So it makes the surface slippery, the dirt comes off, get it clean. The stain might not go away completely, but the surface dirt, you want to get rid of that before you paint again.
But if you just bought the house, like if you're going in a house, like so many of the basements we're looking at now, since COVID, we brought that word up today too, but since COVID, when that happened, so many people finished their basements, right, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people finished their basements because they were having like in-laws move in that they thought would never leave, and they didn't. So you were right.
Or they needed extra office space. Or
the kids came back home.
Right.
So now that space that had a little bit of water or some moisture was okay, right, before that. But with finished space, you're like, oh, this is not good. So people are a little bit more aggressive on wanting to get that fixed now because they're worried about mold.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have those spaces and even if they're unfinished and you want them to look better, I always suggest paint it. But don't get cheap on the paint, just like David was talking about with silicone. And people are like, oh, man, they got that silicone on sale for that or that tube of caulk for $2.99. Don't buy the $2.99 tube. Get some good product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with paint. Go
Same thing with
Go to
paint.
Sherwin-Williams, Home and Lizzie. Get some products that are meant for your basement walls.
Absolutely.
All right, we need to take a break, and then we got the news coming up with Jack
Sure.
Grau pretty quick after we come back. But get your calls and texts in 855-616-1620. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Now I can have all the cookouts and get-togethers in my backyard with some extra shade and relaxation for my guests. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Now until the end of July, you can receive $400 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Downtown Milwaukee is the place to be for summer fun. Festa Italiana kicks off its 3-day celebration today at the Italian Community Center. Plus, the Frank Mott's International Kite Festival is back at the lakefront, Saturday and Sunday. Head to Veterans Park for a dazzling display of hundreds of kites in all shapes and sizes. So come on down. Experience downtown in every sense. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Is your lawn more yellow than green already this spring? Vince Vitrano for Great Lakes Landscape, Southeast Wisconsin's premier lawn, landscape, and snow management company. Time is now to sign up for a season-long fertilizer and weed treatment program that'll have your lawn looking tip-top in no time. Fresh mulch for the flower beds, or a full landscape maintenance package, that's available too. This is the go-to team for patios and new construction landscape as well. Tell them you want your lawn looking as good as mine. Great Lakes Landscape. That's GreatLakesLandscapeWI.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
David Nason and Dayton Kane. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. 8:27. It is going to be a beautiful day. If you haven't been to Summerfest yet, head down that way because it's the last day. 855-616-1620 is a WTMJ talk and text line. We have Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. And guess what their website is? AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Yep. Whoa.
They kept it easy.
There's a lot of thought went into
yeah.
that.
Right. So we have a text here that says, putting on a small addition with a 5-foot crawl space. I'm installing the sump crock myself. The water table's high right now. I can brace the crock to stop it from floating up, but how do I ensure it won't float up after the concrete is poured?
So for the time being, you can stick a bunch of block in it to hold it down too. So you don't have to get too fancy with trying to create some kind of lumber support to hold it in place. You can just put a bunch of block in. Look for a crock that has a mid-level like ring on it, so that'll help hold it in place. Like right below the top of it, you can order a crock that has, so when you pour the floor, it holds it in place.
Right.
If you're not finishing your crawl space floor, don't go cheap. I'm telling you, you'll hate it. You want to pour that crawl space with some concrete because it's like living on a wet. It's wet, so pour it. But I would do that. Just again, get a crock with a lip on it.
Yeah.
And then perforate. And then we talked about off the air. We were talking about perforating it.
To allow water into it rather than pushing it up. Yeah.
Yeah. You can drill some holes in the bottom of it or the sides or both, and it'll allow some water to be taken out of that. And then when that crawl space gets put in, they should tie the outside drain tile in that to the existing drain tile that's in your house. And drain tile is just tubing. For those of you who don't know what is tile, it's just tubing that should be tied in together. So take a look at that. I'm telling you, I just had my neighbor do his house, and it was really weird. I shouldn't say neighbor; he's about 2 blocks away. But anyway, and the guy who was doing his new construction didn't tie a lot of stuff together, and then I had to go there and be the jerk, lighten up this guy. But just take a look at it. If you got questions on build and stuff like that, you can call us.
All right. What is the number for you guys?
It's 414-744-6900. It's 414-744-6900. You can book appointments online, too, on Google. Yeah, makes it pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Just Google Accurate Basement Repair.
Accurate Basement Repair.
Where are you guys out of?
We're technically out of St. Francis. We say Milwaukee, but what's the diff, right? We'll go in the 5-county area.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind, but you can give us a call. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can.
Sounds good. It is a Fix It show. We take a break over to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Jack Grau. Good morning, Jack.
Hey, good morning. 3 people, including a child, dead after a crash near 91st and West Mill Road on Friday afternoon. The crash happened around 3:30 p.m. on July 5th. Milwaukee police say a 55-year-old driver crashed into another vehicle with a 28-year-old and 9-year-old inside. The 55-year-old driver was taken to a hospital where they were later pronounced dead. A man from West Allis faces charges for allegedly sending thousands of messages threatening to kill Milwaukee's district attorney. 31-year-old Brady Hammerer is charged with 11 counts of battery or threat to a judge, prosecutor, or law enforcement officer. The death threats against DA John Chisholm and his family date back 2 years. Prosecutors found 11 emails that were also CC'd to the office of U.S. Senator Ted Cruz. Capitol Police later found more emails that had been flagged as junk, a total of 3,500, or an average of 78 messages a day. And a local pool will close permanently at the end of the summer. The Jewish Community Center Water Park in Mequon will close its gates for good after Labor Day. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that the park has consistently operated at a 6-figure budget deficit. The board of directors say the financial data and a survey of member engagement also factored in to the closing. Taking a look at your roads with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Not seeing anything major across the Milwaukee traffic system right now. No major slowdowns or complications wherever you're driving to. Should be a smooth ride getting there.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
And your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a high of 77 today and partly cloudy, hitting a low of 63 this evening. On Sunday, a high of 81 with some isolated showers that morning. And then Monday, setting the tone for the rest of the week, a high of 79 with scattered showers, going to stay like that pretty consistently. On Tuesday, a high of 82, isolated showers and storms. And on Wednesday, a high of 81 with a slight chance of showers and storms again. I'm Jack Grau, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is approaching 8:33.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Is it time to replace the siding at your house? First off, you got to go to Tri-County Contracting. You can hit up their showroom in New Berlin to check out the vinyl siding and the LP Smart Side they have on display. They'll help you find that siding and the color that you will love. And if you're worried about price, don't forget about the 30-year no-faded paint warranty. Transform your house and increase the value. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
That Tobacco Town. Need advice? Call 855-616-1620. Our expert home inspector is here to help. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
It is Chase Rice playing U.S. Cellular Connection stage today at Summerfest.
Pretty good line there, 6-string dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Country music
That's
gets
an awesome
deep,
song.
man.
Yeah, some
It
of these
gets
guys.
deep.
Yeah.
What do you listen to? Nothing?
I scan the radio. I'm just all over the place.
He listens to
Books
the
on tape?
podcast of the show all the
Books
time.
on,
He does listen to. He listened last week's show, I know, because he called me about it.
Mm-hmm. I
He
listen
wasn't
to our show
here.
when I'm not here.
855-616-1620, the WTMJ Talk and Text line. Dayton Kane, David Nason, and Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. We were talking sump crocs. You said that your alarms were going off recently on your sump pumps.
Yes, I
What
almost
was going
forgot
on?
about that. Yeah, so I have some people sleeping over, and he's like yesterday at like 5 a.m, he's texting me from downstairs. Hey, man, there's alarms going off in your basement. I'm like, what? So I ran down there, and my alarms are going off on my battery backup system because the secondary floats kicked on. So people are going, what is that? So I have a pretty cool battery backup system. In fact, I got 2 of them at my house because I live in Muskego, and that's a very wet area. And there's so much sediment buildup there in the water, and these pumps are not that old. The sediment buildup starts to weigh down on the bobbers that lift the float engagement, which means fancy is there's like a bobber in there and it gets full of muck, kind of. So you actually have to take those and clean them. I have to actually pull them out, and I have to chisel the stuff off, sort of. Not chisel.
Or just
but
make sure the
take it
floats
off.
are free to float.
Yeah, so they can float.
Yeah.
So sometimes you may not have a pump problem. You may just have the float might get dirty. So we've talked about that off air. You should take a look inside your crock and see if it looks kind of icky. Yeah, you should probably clean that out.
Yeah.
Take a hose and flush it out. Take it from me because I didn't do it. So take
Well,
that, flush it out, and see if you can get some of that sediment
Not only
off.
clean, but just if the pump gets moved, if you're storing things, I've seen them where the pipe that's coming, the discharge pipe, I just kind of jiggle it a little bit and it frees the float. It pops up.
Oh, yeah.
And
yes.
because it's underwater,
Absolutely.
it's stuck underwater. And as soon as it pops up, the pump turns on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is actually really good. I mean, people should really go down and take a look at that today
Mm-hmm.
because it has been raining a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just like our commercial this week, it smelled like rain. Remember our commercial we
Yes,
did this
right.
week? Go in your basement and sniff it. People are
Right.
calling me.
They played that here just the hour
Yeah.
before you're on.
Oh, you guys,
Yeah.
I got such razzing this week from that. What do you mean, go down and like sniff your basement? What are
Mm-hmm.
you, weird or something? So it's kind of funny, but you can smell that kind of dampness, kind of ick down in your basement sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so take a look. Don't let your stuff get destroyed. Take a look downstairs and do the sniff test too. And I know it sounds weird, and then work on controlling again a lot of the humidity downstairs that we talk about.
Yeah, humidity, gutters, grading downspout. If you got stains high on the wall, it's water coming through the walls from up high from your it's groundwater that's coming through the walls.
Absolutely, and we talk about this on every show. If we look at 10 basements, we can't even write an estimate for 5 of them. We only write on 4.7 of the basements we even look at. So
'Cause
more
you're
than
not
half.
landscape guys.
So more
basically.
so more than half of them, it's some sort of owner deferred maintenance. So I know people get afraid to like, oh my gosh, I wonder if something's wrong with my basement. I'm telling you, half the time, you don't have a basement problem. You have a water management problem as far as some of the deferred maintenance. So I mean, the proof is in the pudding in the statistics. So
right,
Make sure your gutters are clean.
Yep.
And actually water is flowing through them. I actually just told a customer this week, not when it's lightning out, but when it's raining next time, go make sure the water's actually coming out the extension.
Right.
Because he's like, oh, water's flowing over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's clogged. It was a 2-story house. I'm like, well, if you don't want to get on a ladder to climb up there to check,
If
Next
you
time it's raining, go.
if you have underground drains, they're very popular. People have their downspouts going underground. If the ground right around that downspout is kind of recessed a little bit, that's an indication that that downspout is probably backed up down underground because the water is backing up and draining out of the downspout and washing away the mulch and everything around it. So if you got a low spot there right around that downspout, it's not draining properly.
Yeah, and even if you have gutter guards on, you want to take a peek up there. If you have like a selfie pole, and I know a lot of you guys take these selfies here, so you're walking around. I think one of these guys were walking around on Wisconsin Avenue this morning with a selfie stick, but whatever. Take a selfie stick or something. Try to reach up to your gutters or make something. I mean, everyone who listens to this show is handy.
Ask the
Just make
neighbor
your
kid
own.
who's got a drone.
Yeah.
Hey, come up and look at my roof.
But you want to get a look inside those gutters. We just had one on 95th off Brown Deer. We did all this work, and he calls me. He's like, you guys did all this work, and this basement's leaking. And I'm like, hey, man, I told you to clean your gutters. He goes, I don't have to clean the gutters. I got gutter guards on there. So we went there again. I went there last Tuesday, and then I go in his garage, and I see the gutter guards all sitting in his garage. And I'm like, Scott, the gutter guards are sitting in the garage. Oh, they are? Oh, man, I forgot about I took those off like 5 years ago. And, he forgot. And then his gutters were completely full. So it's like, come on, you got to have the gutters. You got to have them clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gutters, grading, downspouts. Yep.
All right.
Make sure they're draining.
Chris Mancuso here from Accurate Basement Repair. Get your questions in for him. The WTMJ talking text line is 855-616-1620. It is the Fix-It Show.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com. The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
More of your questions next. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Good morning, Dayton Kane, David Nason, Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. You can reach us at 855-616-1620. This text is making me nervous now.
Uh-oh.
Says, I'm in New Berlin with 2 pumps and battery backup in my sump that runs 24/7, 365. Not only do my floats get coated with sediment, but also my pumps typically only last a year or two before they get seized up from the minerals in the sump pump water. I really need to beef up my system. I'm in New Berlin. Mine runs 24/7. I've lived there 3 years and haven't done anything to it, so now I'm nervous.
He needs an in-ground pool in his basement.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to end up with.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I've seen a couple ponds, but no pools.
There are areas there in Muskego, like you talked about. McGuanago's got a couple places as well where some people's pumps just run constantly.
Let me look that up, and then you can visit our website. I'll look that up this weekend because I have nothing better to do. But I will look up. There is a product, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I'll look it up and then I'll post it on our website that you can put into your sump crock, like a CLR sort of gets rid of the.
Oh.
But you want to be careful because if the thing's spitting out into your garden and all of a sudden your tomatoes are turning like purple or something.
What about something like outboard motors have a zinc on them that's a sacrificial piece of metal so that the rest of the engine parts don't corrode in the water? Is there something that you could put in the crock, like a zinc product?
There might be.
Not a liquid, because the liquid obviously would wash away or get pumped out. You need a solid piece
some
of
some of these, there is a product, I can't remember what it is, where you leave it in and you just unplug your pump and leave it sit for a day.
Yeah.
And the guy's calling in probably going, I can't sit for a day. My pump
right now.
don't sit right now. Let me take a look and we'll come up with something.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is I think maybe the last time you were on, we talked about making sure your pumps, and I know we're talking a lot about pumps, but making sure the float levels are set correctly. Talk about that.
So the float level should be set so it turns on like right below where the inlets come in from that drain tile. So if you're listening to the show and you're not the handiest person, this is really easy stuff. You just take a flashlight and look inside your sump crock, which is just all of that is a pail. That's all that is, a fancy pail. Take a look in there. You see a couple inlets, and you want that water to kick on right before it hits the bottom of the inlet. In some circumstance, if they're going, wow, that inlet is like 2 inches off the bottom of the crock, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means your pump will constantly be cycling because there's not enough capacity for inventory of water.
Solution there could be, it's not, I want to say cheap, but you could have a deeper crock installed.
You could, and we do that in some instances. We put deeper crocks in, especially depending on what water tables are, so there's a little bit more capacity. But you peek inside there, and again, I will get a look at and post it this week here about the product you can use to get some of that calcium off. Like I said, I'll be pulling mine today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be pulling my pumps today. It doesn't take long. I'll just pull them out. It takes me about an hour. And I'll clean them up a little bit because those people are sleeping over, unfortunately. You know what I should do is I shouldn't clean them, and then maybe that'll drive the people
Wait
out
till
earlier.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually like these folks. So
The other thing is, depending on the size of your basement, if you have a pretty good sized ranch, if you have a sump crock in one corner of their ranch, you consider maybe if you have an unfinished area, consider putting a crock in the opposite corner or somewhere else.
And that's what I did. I put 2 of them in at my house because I'm a nerd when it comes to that. But we talk about this on shows too. You can buy on Amazon. I have sensors all over my house that will give me temperature and humidity readings all over in different parts of my basement. So I can keep gauging that because I'm real sensitive to mold.
What should it stay under?
You want to keep it under, and David can help answer this. I like it under 50.
Yeah, I would say 45 is a good number.
Yeah, and that's usually, I didn't want to be too overly zealous, but 45 is where I have the humidity system set up in my basement to stay below.
Yeah.
All right, so when my dehumidifier stopped and I was at 77%, that wasn't good.
Oh, dude, that's like a steam room. Go down there.
It was a little wet.
Down there, yeah.
A little wet. We got a dehumidifier replacement real quick.
Yeah, and somehow, some basements you're thinking, well, man, my dehumidifier runs 24/7. This time of the year, it's going to run very often, but you should check the humidity levels. And these things are cheap to get online. So people go, let's spend the money on that. You can get them for like $40 with a few sensors. And then you can tell if you need a second dehumidifier. There's a lot of basements. I know there's math involved. So those of you listening go, math. Oh. Just do some math. It's a volume thing. Remember that.
But also, here's another thing: is most dehumidifiers allow you to hook up a drain hose to them.
Yep.
So instead of letting it fill the bucket, that you're not there all the time to empty, and now it's not running the times when the bucket is full, put the drain hose on it near a floor drain so that it can run whenever it needs to. You set it at a setting, which I do mine, and it just runs when it needs to. And I don't have to empty a bucket. It's not relying on me to do that for it to run.
And when you're doing the dehumidifier stuff, when you're doing that, sometimes that spot near the drain is not the best spot for it. Just don't go cheap on dehumidifiers because it's a hole in the ground. You really controlling the humidity underground is pretty squirrely. I mean, you want to, once you get it, you got it though.
Yeah.
And again, it's the size of the dehumidifier is based on volume. So if you look it up, you can Google it. How do I pick out the right size dehumidifier? And it'll tell you. You got to do the math.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah.
All right, we do need to take our final break. When we come back, get your calls and texts in. 855-616-1620. AccurateBasementRepair.com is where you can find them. It's the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here from Wisconsin's Morning News, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every segment, every interview, and every bit we do on the show. Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
I am jazzed as hell.
You can do it .com too. .com. I'm .comming right now.
It's about 110 degrees in this room. Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Bullseye!
Subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast wherever you get your podcasts or listen live on WTMJ.com.
David Nason here, host of the Fix It Show with my friend Chris Mancuso, who's on the show this morning, owner of Accurate Basement Repair. Some signs of basement problems to look for are horizontal cracks in walls, leaning walls, dark or discolored stains. Those scream moisture problems. We've been talking about those. Having those looked at can save you a ton of money, heartache, and from bigger problems. As a home inspector, I see this happen all the time. Don't wait. Call Accurate Basement Repair today for your free assessment. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Now's when the summer heat is working your AC system into overtime. And after this long, it may be on borrowed time. But some of these systems really can last, especially Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your AC system says its final goodbye, think of the man in the red van and the over 60 years of experience that Quality Heating brings to your home. To get your new Armstrong Air Pro Series AC system installed right and right away.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you have over 20 HVAC techs working with you that each have over 20 years of experience, it gives you confidence to be able to go out there and talk reliability, integrity, value, all the things that matter when you hire someone to get the job done right the first time. These words mean everything to us, and we know they mean a lot to you. And that's what you'll get when you hire the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality Heating, Quality Heating.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 4th of July sale is going on now, so celebrate and save with great summer deals throughout the store. Like Blaine's Farm and Fleet camp chairs, just $9.99. Assorted gallons of Cabot exterior stains, $15 off by mail-in rebate. And stay cool with up to $50 off assorted Perfect Air window air conditioners. Plus, this Friday through Sunday, we're thanking all first responders and healthcare workers with an extra 10% off their entire purchase.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The famous Fox & Hounds restaurant in Hubertus is hiring reliable, hardworking cleaners. You'll make real money in a friendly atmosphere, working all morning hours. It's a great part-time job. Inquire today and start next week. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I have a roofing question, I contact Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
Thanks, Tom. Between the two of us, we've seen hundreds of failed roofs, along with the unfortunate consequences of water damage. Poor workmanship, improper product usage, lack of ventilation, inferior flashing detail, and loss of control due to subcontractors are some of the most common reasons for roofs failing. At J&B, our objective is not just to sell another roof. We want want to educate our clients. When J&B's experienced sales staff achieves that goal, our roof systems sell themselves.
For a complimentary roof evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. WTMJ's The Fix-It Show with David Nason and Dayton Kane.
Gotta love the Bodines. Generac Power Stage today at Summerfest, if you can catch them. Going to be a beautiful day. I mean, 77 and partly cloudy. Can't think of better weather for walking around the Summerfest grounds.
Beautiful day.
So before we get into some more text, remind us what all Accurate Basement Repair does.
So Accurate Basement Repair, we do foundation restoration and waterproofing. So we fix basements with bad walls, like cracking, pushing in, sinking, any of that stuff, and water management, drain tile work. We don't do remodeling. But if you got a basement, if you have a basement that has those issues, like, again, cracks, water intrusion, give us a call. We'll help you out.
And if you are going to remodel, let's say you have a larger basement, you're going to do a fairly extensive remodel, put some nice rooms, a bar, a bedroom or something down there. Not a bad idea, just to make sure, have your drain tile checked.
Have your drain tile checked. He brings up a good point. If you're going to spend a big amount of money on remodeling, you should have the drain tile tested, especially at a certain vintage.
Before you do
it. So if you have a really good remodeler, they'll suggest that you take a look at that before you do the remodeling project at your house in the lower level of the basement. You have those systems checked.
855-616-1620. This says, hi guys, Wendy from New Berlin here. Another New Berlin. New Berlin must be wet. I mean, I live there. I know it's wet. We have crawl space under an addition added many years ago. Historical water coming in because of inadequate drainage. We did fix the drainage. No water in recent years, but we have stained walls. How can we remove the stains?
So we were talking about that a little off the air. I seal the walls, clean them, paint them, seal them. Again, we talk about different products out there. David brought up you can spray foam the walls too.
More and more, I'm seeing crawl space walls being either have the rigid foam, on them, or more and more the spray foam.
And a big important part of crawl space too, make sure you keep that crawl space opening open to vent those
to
out.
The basement, not to the outside. If you have vents that go to the outside, you really should change that. You should block those off and open the crawl space to your basement.
Absolutely.
To make it a conditioned space.
All right. Another question here says, can 3-inch landscape perforated pipe buried for downspouts be cleaned out of dirt and roots?
Well, it shouldn't be perforated if it's underground like that. Well, let me rephrase it. If it's coming from your downspouts, then it shouldn't be perforated. If it's just simply what's referred to as a French drain, I don't know if it's because his name was French or if it was the Frenchman that came up with it. But either way, that should be perforated. Can it be cleaned?
If it's the PVC type material, yes.
Yeah, the corrugated stuff, real tough to clean out.
Yeah. A snake will shred that stuff.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah, but PVC pipe can be.
Good show, gentlemen.
Yes,
Thank you for being here, Chris.
Absolutely.
Always good to have you in. David, have a great week. You here next week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Have a great Fix-It week.
We do it every Saturday at 7 o'clock. It is the Fix-It Show. Coming in next, Rose Gray is back for the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
This has been the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
And that's the best thing.